Hey folks, I know I have not made a video in a while, but there have been some unseen circumstances that caused such things. Anyway, just kind of try to take off where we left off before. We still got these black broilers in here, and they need to come out ASAP. But you see I got their little feed there. Crumbles, got some water. I got another waterer that I'm going to put in a minute. I always keep two waters in there. And then over here, I got their grass, their fodder, for them to get started on pecking at and getting used to eating that kind of stuff. And out here, we got the red broilers. They are drinking. They are thirsty, thirsty, thirsty. Because somebody only filled their water up once today, and that was me. It's now like, 10 o'clock at night, so I'm out here doing it. And yeah, so there's the... What I got on top of there is foddered grass. So that they get started eating grass. They get grass, so they can chew and eat the grass and get all the nutrients they need from the grass. Photosynthesis stuff, It's good for them. So yeah, they're just getting started, and yeah, guy over there, he's eating some grass. Eating some of that wheat grass. They'll peck at it, and it'll be gone by the morning, for sure. And they'll want more. I mean, if you look at them, I fed them. I put the feed out first, and then I put the wheatgrass out, and they're all kind of starting to gravitate towards the wheatgrass. But that gives them what they need. If you can't get them outside in the wintertime, if you can't, if you don't have the space, if you don't have enough acreage or whatever, you can do this, and they can get that pasture raised, grass and all that stuff. You can just do it right in your kitchen or wherever, in your garage or little shed. And it's important that they get it, because that's what chickens have been doing for tens of thousands of years. Birds in particular. And human beings have been eating these birds for tens of thousands of years. Whatever. Take your pick. So if you take away the grass, if you take away the pasture, the grass, and you take away the bugs that they eat, and the worms and the grubs and the dirt that they peck out of the ground, if you take that away, you're breaking a natural nutritional chain that has been in our food system for tens of thousands of years, So if you break that chain, you gotta, or you weaken the link in the chain, if you will. Maybe that's a better analogy. If you take away these things, you will weaken links in the chain, and then the chain can break and cause you problems in your own life, or in even all of human existence, if we insist on changing things in such an abrupt way. We're going to suffer the consequences, and I think we are, because if you have chickens that are out eating grass and bugs and such, they have a lot less. They got less cholesterol, and they got more. There's a little fight going on there. Chickens, they call it the pecking order, and they do it. They don't ever really hurt each other, though. They just show, who's the boss, I guess. But anyway, yeah, if you break the chain of your nutritional health, you're going to suffer the consequences. And that's kind of what I'm doing here. I want to kind of change that because we have these confinement operation farms, CAFOs and such, that have been around since probably the early 50s, late 40s, after World War II. And that's when they started, you know. And you can't blame them, because I grew up in the 70s, late 60s and the 70s, and it was all about progress, you know. Nobody thought about this chain of events that could go wrong if we take animals off the pasture and stick them on concrete floors and feed them a compressed, pressurized, heat-treated vegetarian dinner and nothing more. Nobody even considered that could be a problem, and I could certainly understand why. It was just the time, you know. So I think now is the time for another change, and that is to introduce these things that have been missing from these confinement operations. And if it means that we have to introduce grass into confinement operations, then so be it. Why not, instead of a big metal roof, put up a big long greenhouse and grow grass in there and put your chickens in there and let them be on the pasture? You wouldn't have as much problems even if you did that. But that is not mechanized enough for the big corporations, because they need metal buildings set down in brick and mortar, and they sit there and you can't touch them. They don't move. And then you introduce what you want into it, and then you bring them in and you take them out, all done in between 6 and 8 weeks. It's a matter of what you can do, you know, exponentially, or with less cost and all that kind of stuff. So they need to be speedy, and they need to have it done the same time, the same way every time. And what do they say? It's a safe form of protein that we derive from these chickens. And that's true. It's safe. It is safe. You don't get sick from, eating poultry when you get it from the grocery store unless you just don't cook it. Typically, you're very safe. Yes. But it's missing some things that you can't see. That chicken looks the same as any other chicken, but it's not getting any of that right there. And any of that green stuff at all. And then, you get people that say they put on their package that the chicken is, it's fed a vegetarian feed, which, okay, great. That means your chicken's a vegetarian. No, it doesn't mean that. Your chicken is not a vegetarian, it's an omnivore. And if you, I gotta fix this mess. Wait a minute. Oh, there we done it now, didn't we? What have I done? Hold on, y'all.